TIFU, I killed the best relationship in my life because she complimented me. So I was in my early 20s, been seeing this girl for a few months. Our sexual chemistry was on point, we enjoyed each other's company immensely, but timing was just off as we both had plans of relocation that were set in motion before we met, so we stayed as FWB. So there we were one night laying in bed in post-coitus bliss. After what was probably the best sex we have ever had, our breaths still heavy, she seemed more coquettish than her usual self, snuggling her body close to me in a tight embrace. She softly told me that I'm the only man for her and she wanted our relationship to be exclusive from that moment on. Assuming my charm and sexual prowess brought about this turn of events, I was beaming with confidence, my ego stoked by my apparent ascendancy to near sex god status in what I imagine being one of my most effortless, cool and devilishly masculine moments. I replied to, "What do I owe this honor?" She proceeded to regale details of her weekend escapade, a girls' night out with her old sorority sisters where the night ended with her drunk out of her face hooking up with this French Algerian guy. Then she described the shock and horror when his penis inevitably made its debut. Apparently it was 12 inches long and thicker than a Coke can. She said she was frightened by it, that it looked like a torture instrument that would tear her apart. Apparently the mood soured soon after that, and he left her place awkwardly. Now I pack a standard issue 6-incher with some room for expansion depending on my level of arousal. Never had any complaints from previous partners, which by then was a significant number. There never was any reason for me to second guess my sexual abilities. I did have an acute awareness of being a grower and not a shower, buying into the porn skewered reality that bigger is better. Whatever latent insecurities I had was magnified and put on display. My breaking point came as these words uttered from her lips. "I kid you not, he was probably twice as big as yours." It carved deep into my consciousness with animated violence, overwhelming me with feelings of inadequacies, clouding my ability to control my most basic faculties. She then said something about how much she anticipated my visit and how she thinks she is falling for me, blah blah blah. She ended her confession by teasingly going down on me, kissing my flaccid cock, telling it, "This is all I will ever need." I don't think I have ever felt so small in my life. I got out of bed, got dressed in abject silence, and just left the room without saying a word. This of course left her in a state of confusion. I never called her again and blocked her on all my social media accounts. I spent the next few days at home in crippling depression, wallowing in self-pity, rejection, and inadequacies. Thinking back, now a far more secured man in my 30s, I often second guess my reaction. Was I being an insecure drama queen? There I was, just had the most amazing sex in my life. This gorgeous girl I really liked was pouring her heart out, praising the superiority of my average sized member whilst professing her love for me. Yet the only image in my head is her staring with wide eyes at the sheer size of his monster dung. Once the image got stuck in my bead, my ego blinded by the green-eyed monster, there was no turning back. TL. Doctor may have missed out on the best relationship in my life due to my insecurities. When a girl is pouring her heart out to you with a comparison of another dick she was playing with a few days ago, yeah, that's about time to get dressed and leave. La la la. Imagine being in bed with her and telling her all about the less adequate girl you'd slept with on your way over. Nope nope nope. No one likes being compared to previous partners. That's some very ignorant pillow talk on her part. I don't have any interest in hearing about my partner's previous sexual adventures. Them talking about it makes me feel like they are definitely comparing me to them. I know they are, but they don't gotta talk about it. Think of it this way. What if you had told her that you loved her, even though she wasn't as beautiful as another woman you had a date with last weekend? I was so intimidated by another's beauty / big dick / impressive attribute that I left them and would rather have someone average like you. Apostrophe. Fuck that. Sure did made me feel like a consolation prize. Oh my god. Babe. You won't believe the cans on this girl at the pub. They were just big and massive and perky. I kid you not, they were twice as big as yours. Your little boobas are all I will ever need. Where you going? I'm 90% sure this is a writing prompt. I absolutely understand the insecurities you had. I myself have the same insecurities. But that you ducked up so hard because of it. It would have probably hit me the same it hit you. I really feel bad for you how your whole relationship ended just like this. It also intensified my own insecurities a bit while reading this. On the other hand, this helps me. As strange as this sounds, I think this post can help me with my insecurities, even if it's just a bit. So I thank you for sharing this. I'm glad it helps you. This messed me up for a few years. I pretty much exclusively engaged in ons for the next few years. We are often trapped in a prison we constructed for ourselves. I choose to interpret the events that transpired that night as an overreaction on my part for my own sanity. I know a lot of guys face the same shit. Maybe not so brutally delivered. But I hope that by sharing my experience, it could save someone else from getting consumed by their insecurities. Something I really don't get is why people think big dicks are good. They ducking hurt. Like it feels like some dudes just decided on day that big dicks are good and now bully other men about it. Bro. She had the goofiest reason for an exclusive relationship. Oh, your penis is cool and works for me. Why trip over her? I had to scroll way too far for this. Being objectified sucks. And it's a shitty basis for a relationship. If someone said they wanted to date me because they loved my knockers. Yeah. Nah. And that's even if they didn't compare them to someone else's. Personally, I think it would have been nice to just tell her why. Just so she doesn't make that mistake again. Because she might literally have had no idea what she had done. I've definitely said some things that I didn't exactly mean, and people took out of context. But still, I don't blame you. Like, come on. Everyone knows that men believe their penis size matters a lot to them, and the fact that she said that after you guys had sex, it's like you're nothing. That's what I was thinking too. To ghost a girl you've been seeing for a few months right after she poured her heart out must have been really rough from her perspective. Many women don't understand how sensitive us guys are when it comes to our penises. But that lack of understanding doesn't justify failing to treat this woman with respect. She deserved at least an explanation. Even if telling the truth was hard in that moment. Yeah, she did deserve some direct communication. But as a woman, I hope I'd be able to put two and two together if I were in her position in that story. I feel like it's 100% clear that he immediately took issue with her telling a story about trying to bed a man with a massive dick, and that after hearing the story he decided to leave and never speak to her again. Sound like someone just wanted to write their sexual fantasies. I feel you. I don't take any comments about my dick well. A chick said I had the length, but not enough girth. Another said her boyfriend's hurt compared to mine. I was in my 20s and remember those comments vividly. For me, whatever feelings I had for them instantly dissipated. I'm 31 now and still don't wanna hear bullshit like that. I've never commented on a girl's tightness, tits or ass size, especially while she's naked, so I don't need to hear that shit. It's not about insecurities, but more so a lack of respect. There you are, bare, vulnerable and as intimate as can be, getting judged. I wonder how many hours you spent whilst spending deep cold winter nights surfing the frenzies of thesaurus to detach a rich, luxurious and exotic write-up from the ink, derived from finest pigments bundled in an exquisite plastic casing. I say you dodged a bullet there. The way the girl worded it. What a douche. I don't think you F up there. This is the most cringy thing I have ever read. 12 inches and thicker than a Coke can. Holy shit. How the duck do you even keep a subway footlong in your pants discreetly? Imagine this guy getting frisked at an airport and the police think he's keeping a ducking fire extinguisher or something in there. Hot take. There is such a thing as too big. And I don't think she was insulting you. The way that size competitions are beaten into us is extremely unhealthy. Big dicks. Big tits. Big ass. Small waist. Bulging muscles. etc, etc. How very superficial and exhausting. Let's leave that shit behind. There is definitely a thing as too big. Still don't think she should have brought it up the way she did though. But I will leave my big dick horror story here, since I'll be damned to ever tell my BF. Even though I thoroughly enjoy his average sized darn. Met a great guy at a festival. Funny, sweet and handsome AF. We kissed and exchanged numbers. Festival was in a neighboring country about 3 hours away from where I live, so didn't think much would come from it. He did keep in touch though. He called me several times a week. Sent funny tourist postcards from his country and we texted every day. About 6 weeks after the festival he visited to take me out to dinner. It was also damn romantic, and I was crushing pretty hard. He offered to stay in a hotel, but I wanted him to stay over at my place. Things started to heat up, but he was holding back. When I asked him what was wrong, he told me to not freak out, and that we didn't have to take it any further if I didn't want to. When he took out his penis, I was honestly shocked. I'm a small 52 girl and this thing was longer and thicker than my underarm. We tried but couldn't fit it down under or in my mouth. He was totally sweet about it and told me it happens all time. We kept in touch a little, but we both knew it wouldn't work out. I was so miffed about it. He was a great guy, but his dick was just too damn big. Her talking about getting drunk, making out with a stranger, seeing his penis, then comparing it to yours, is ducking weird. Forget the insecurity thing. It sounds like you potentially dodged getting herpes down the road. Were you stupid for reacting like that? Yes. Was she stupid for wording it like that? Also yes. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed watching this video. Leave your thoughts in the comments below.